Welcome to Shore Perspectives, a community feature of WESR Radio, highlighting the spirit of the shore from those who call it home.
Kerry Wallace. I live in Wachapreague. Well, I grew up on a farm about a half mile out of Wachapreague. It was 5 of us kids, and we lived out there until I was 12. And we moved into town beside the firehouse. That was in '57, and got interested in if siren go off, and so we got interested in it, my brother and I, so we joined the fire company. It was in 1960. Became a junior fireman and learned all the equipment on the engine and what it's used for and why it was. Fire chief was James Paul, and he taught us everything that we need to know to be a firefighter. When I first joined, we didn't have central alarm or 911. If we had a fire, the operator would call certain phone numbers in town, and they would come down and set the siren off on the outside of the firehouse. One time it was a meeting. If it went off twice, there was a fire in town. If it went off the third time, it was a fire out of town. So the ones who answered the phone had to get all the information because we had no communication. We had a man that stayed here at night, that lived here at night. His name was Renzi Mears. And we had a phone here. And at night, they would call him, and he'd go outside the building and set the siren off. We had a 51 fire engine GMC back then, and we still have it today. We take it to parades, but the pumping oil still works on it. The tank leaks a little bit, but that's the only thing we had back then was a fire engine and a pickup. Back then, we have a fire, we'd be riding the back of the fire engine and not in the cab. We were back there while it's snowing and the blowing and the raining. But I'll do it all over again if I could. In '66, I believe it was, we got our ambulance, and a couple other men and myself, Kerry Paul, myself, and I forgot who else it was, but we took first aid instruction, and then we come back and we taught our members first aid. And at that time, just about everybody in the company had first aid. So and I ran ambulance calls from the time we got it until we took it over to Painter, 1966. We devoted to get an ambulance because Milford was the closest ambulance. So we the company decided to buy an ambulance. And like I said, James Paul was the chief, and John T. Finney was chief engineer at the time. And Freddie and myself, all 4 of us went up. And the other guy, myself, and John T. was going to bring it back. We went up Annapolis, and we're coming down Route 50 on the way home. And the first stoplight we came to on Route 50 coming into Salisbury, that's as far as we got. The transmission went up, we sit there. And our fire chief, he was ahead of us. He's the one who brought us up. So he was ahead of us. So of course he had the green light, so he just kept on getting it. And by the time so we sat there and said, no, we had to get the ambulance off the road. So we finally got the ambulance on the side of the road. And we waited, and I think he went to eat supper because it took him so long to get back. So anyway, we were sitting there, and finally he come back and said, what's the problem? Can't go nowhere, the transmission's going up. So we got the record, come get it, and took it away, and they went and got it about a week later with another transmission. It did finally went into service a week later, but we did get it in service.
Obviously, someone who mentions Wachapreague and history in the same sentence,
Right.
one of the first things to come to mind is the Wachapreague Hotel.
Right.
Were you on that call?
Oh yes, I was living just outside of Wachapreague at the time. I don't know what was going on downstairs, but up in the top part of the hotel, it was hot. so we tried fighting it from the top of the up, considered the attic, for a while, but it got so hot up there we had to back down and get a 2.5, and we started again, and we finally got it under control. But it was so much water damage that they found it later that it's not worth the money to redo it. It happened in the afternoon early, and I was up all night and all day the next day. But we had it under control, I'd say within an hour or so. I was assistant chief for 20-some years. And then I had a little problem, and doctor says don't fight fires anymore, so I became an engineer, and my job was to drive the tanker. So when the tanker went out, that was my job, drive the tanker. So, and that's what I did up until about 3-4 years ago, maybe. I felt like I'm 77, and I just felt like I think if I let somebody else younger do. But every once in a while, if they need a tanker, if I can go and give them a hand, I'll do it. If they don't have no tanker driver, but I still enjoy it. I still watch the fires and go out of town. Yeah, I feel like I should be in there. My wife, she had, of course, we had 2 children, and she stayed home. And when the children got a little bit older, she joined the Ladies Auxiliary, and then she was an EMT. She was in the process of being a shock trauma when she got sick, which she passed away 17 years ago. But my 2 daughters, both of them, when they became of age, they took EMT, and then they took the shock trauma, both of them. And Hopi, she's a fire inspector too, and a shock trauma technician. Fire inspector too, and a shock trauma technician. And my next to the oldest grandson, he's a firefighter. And we try to keep everything going. So my mother, she was a president of the Ladies Auxiliary at one time. That was years ago. But ever since I started, they've been half firefighter in the mine and ambulance service. I would say go for it, because we need all the help we can get. And I know it takes hours of practice, going to school and doing different things, learning how to use the equipment and all that. But yes, we need all the help we can get. I feel good at helping people, and I enjoy going into fires and putting the fires out and helping people in the way we can, whether it's ambulance or fire. It doesn't make any difference. Just a feeling that you get by helping somebody. And we started a little bit younger, and I could do more, but that's what happens when you get older. You want to do it, but you can't do it. So that's the time when the young ones need to step up and help us out a little bit. Oh no, I'm not going to retire. No, as long as I got keep on going, I'm going to do it. I might not want to do, might not be able to do what I want to do, but I'm going to keep on as long as I can. I'm planning on being at least 125. And I'm planning on being active until that's it.
For Shore Perspectives and WESR Radio, I'm Kelly Gaskell.